that car is getting thrown around and you get all that body roll and the car just starts doing all kinds of weird things, you can't really feel it. So you really got to drive it based on intuition, and it's not an easy thing to do. So it doesn't surprise me that all these guys were making a few extra laps after their qualifying run. But quals are completed, and it looks like we're gridding up here at the center of the figure eight. And it looks like it is... Oh, go ahead.
Andre, I think I did the thing that I have not done in a long time, and that is... I told you I unmuted the mics, but I don't think I actually did unmute the mics. So, folks, have you been hearing us talk for the past little bit? I have a feeling you haven't. But at least I unmuted us before we got going. Bob Giaquinto in the chat. Hope you all are doing well. Michael Valvano saying, just started hearing you now. I'm sorry about that, folks. But... Gonna be a lot of fun here tonight. Figure eight racing at Irwindale Speedway. We are supporting the Weighted Angels charity. Let's go through tonight's starting lineup for this race. Number 8 machine of Scott Crump on the pole. Tristan Maher, Stephen Lashinsky second and third. Vincent Valvano, William Ratcliffe, and Jimbo Casterline rounding out our top 6. I can't believe that, Andre. It's been so long since I last forgot to unmute the mic, but... It does get me occasionally, folks. I do apologize about that. There is a link in the chat now if you want to check on that for the charity that we're supporting here tonight. It is also pinned in the chat, but the pace car is off, Andre. You got to watch out for that figure eight as we're about to go green.
Tell you what, Peter, it's not often you see the pace car pull onto the track in order to leave, but he pulls to the outfield, or what would be considered the outfield. And I'm not exactly sure where these drivers are going to be set loose. I would imagine right here on this straightaway. And they are going to put the power down, I believe. There they go, out and away into turn 1. Can we make it through turn 1 clean? Looks like we are. Everybody's giving each other quite a bit of room going on board with one of the TNR trucks. And you can see just how little visibility they really have. And they got to try to navigate all of these trucks around them. But it's going to be single file into... I don't know, what would that be, 7 and 8? As we go side by side for second. Crump versus Valvano. Valvano up high. He's not really in the preferred lane, but he's going to lift off the throttle a little bit, and he should get a good run into this corner because of the higher entry. And that's going to close him back in. And this is not a perfect figure eight, by the way. If you were looking at the track map earlier at the very beginning of the broadcast, 2 of the corners are very sharp, which means they're going to be pretty heavy braking zones, which opens up, well, that right there. The number 8 had to, a little bit of contact there. I believe that was Lashinsky to Valvano. But yeah, you get these heavy braking zones, and it's going to open up some dive bombs. So that's going to be fun to see. But the 99 going to have a little bit of damage from that, I think. But that's the good thing about these trucks, Peter. You could pretty much rip off every single body panel. You could bend all the axles and the drive gear. And you know what? They're pretty much going to handle the same.
Yeah, Scott Crump, though, here in the number 8 machine, I don't know if he has a slowdown penalty or something, or I'm not sure, but looks like Crump is off the pace in the number 8 machine. Just as you were saying, you can kind of bend the heck out of him. It looks like the number 8 machine, he's just come to a halt here. He's going to fall a lap down, which is not good. Something's also come up with Stephen Lashinsky in the number 99.
This could be penalties.
It could very well be some form of a penalty. Maybe iRacing giving them a stop and hold of some sort. I don't know. But for right now, Scott Crump and Stephen Lashinsky going a lap down. And Jimbo's upside down. Jimbo has rolled his machine. And we get our first 3-wide TV replay of the night. What on earth happened to Jimbo? I think he was all by himself in the number 18 machine. But let's see what happened here, Andre.
Uncle Jimbo went for a bit of a ride. Let's see what happened to that 18 truck. So he's in that heavy braking zone, and I talked about it, Peter. I said you could traction roll these things, and that is exactly what happened. He got into that braking zone, the rear end kicked out, and then the sidewalls gripped that pavement, flipped it right over. Yeah,
so all of a sudden, he turned into a bit of a turtle there in, I don't know what corner that is. I don't know how many corners this track has. Does it have 4? Does it have 8? It is a figure 8, so maybe it has 8 corners. I'll let the chat decide how many corners this racetrack has. Let us know what you have to say. But for right now, it is Tristan Maher who is our race leader. William Ratcliffe up into second. Vincent Valvano in the number 4 machine, he also, this is a little bit of a replay here. He got a big shot there. He had to come to a stop. Not exactly sure why the number 4 had to come to a stop, but like you said, might also be some type of penalty here by iRacing. I don't know, Andre, whether or not if you hit those cones too much, whether or not iRacing gives you some sort of a penalty where you have to kind of come to a halt or not, but for right now, Tristan Maher has a pretty big advantage. We'll pull up the gap on the left-hand side of your screen. He's up to a 10-second lead. We still have 41 minutes to go as the 4 machine of Alvano's coming onto pit road for the first time tonight.
So I'm not sure if this is a scheduled stop, but we do have another truck coming down pit road as well. Can't quite make out the number on that. I want to say that's Castor. No, Casterline's already been in the pits. That is the 18 of Jimbo. So he's actually getting back out on the track after his tow. So I'm assuming they have fast repairs here, but unfortunately needing to tow still is going to cost you significant time. So 2 trucks on the lead lap right now. Maher over Ratcliffe. Crump 1 lap down after his supposed penalty. And again, Peter and I aren't 100% sure how this track doles out penalties. We're not super familiar with the figure 8 side of iRacing. I would wager to bet that, oh my goodness, I would wager to bet there's a lot of people that are rather unfamiliar with the figure 8 side of this service and how it all works. But I think, Peter, you're oh boy, a little bit of contact there from the 6 to the 8, Ratcliffe to Jimbo, and a near miss in the figure 8. But I would wager to bet you're right there, Peter. I think it's how many cones you knock down, possibly.
Yeah, so we're going to be keeping our eyes on that as someone else. I think that's Steven Lashinsky having a slowdown up there on the top side of the racetrack. Is that Jimbo? I think Jimbo went wall riding there. Let's get a look at that one here on the 3-Wide TV replay. And while we're looking at this, maybe we can figure out why Steven Lashinsky might have got that slowdown penalty as Jimbo doink right into the wall and then put 2 wheels up on the wall. Kept going.
Trying to channel his inner Chastain. No big deal.
No damage. Keep going. That's what I like to say. Let's see if we can see what happened to Lashinsky. Maybe we can get a look here of what might have triggered this penalty. As that's probably what did it. He had to hit some cones there, and that's probably what triggered the iRacing.com black flag to tell him to, hey, stop on the racetrack. He's back going now as he's out there on the racetrack. But Andre, you have to think right here, Tristan Thuggy Maher, he's out to a 16-second lead. Now, TNR is outnumbered here tonight. It's 2-4, 2 TNR drivers, 4 NSRA drivers. And you just have to think that maybe Maher has a little bit of a target on his back, as he might have a slowdown penalty here as he's going way up to the top side of the racetrack. Not sure, but contact! Oh, that was a close miss. Let's see if we can figure out who that was who just took off the front bumper of that car. Now, I don't think didn't look like it was that serious of a contact. Holy smokes. It was a big contact. Let's see, who was that? That must have been Lashinsky. No. Crump? No, it must have been Ratcliffe here in the number 6 that went for a wild ride. Let's see if we get one more look at that one for the number 6 machine. A little bit difficult to keep things all squared away with all these different numbers. Here we go. This is a look right here. Bam!
He came so close to being in the clear and just that little bit of it. And then he keeps going. He just gets on the loud pedal like nothing ever happened, Peter.
Just spun him right around a little bit like a tornado. Ratcliffe still running in second. But what I was going to say is Maher's going to have a little bit of at least I think, a target on him right now. He's up to a 15-second lead. We're 8 minutes or so into this race. And I don't think the NSRA drivers will take too kind to that. If they line him up there in the intersection, I'm sure we'll see a little bit of contact. Someone's going to have to take one for the NSRA team. That's for sure, as right now, the number 2 machine closing in on the back bumper of our third-place driver, Scott Crump, trying to put Crump 1 lap down. But one thing you were mentioning, Andre, was that this racetrack is not quite a true figure 8. Well, you can see right down there from the track map that it isn't a true figure 8, as right here, I think we just had William Ratcliffe have a moment. Let's see if we can see what happened to Ratcliffe again. We saw him just a lap or two ago have a big moment, but he might have just had another big one. Here we go, coming into the extra section. Oh, bam!
Oh, no.
What
Right in
bam!
the door.
And
He got... it's not very often, Peter, that you get wrecked and you fly so far you wind up on another track.
yeah, that's right. You do. You end up on the outside oval. Let's see if we can get a good look at this one from our good 3-wide TV gyro cam. Working our way into the intersection right here. Unbeknownst to him, bam!
Oh, just a violent hit. I mean, that's something out of a Final Destination movie right there, as he just gets launched into the oval circuit on the outside. That's going to be probably another toe. But the thing is, and I want to mention this, you're looking at the scoreboard, you're seeing, okay, Ratcliffe's a lap down, Lashinsky's 4 laps down, Casterline's 5 laps down. That does not mean that these guys are out. With a figure 8 race, of course, there's going to be carnage. There is no cautions. Any one of these drivers could be wrecked and have to take that tow, and that could happen numerous times over the next 35 minutes. So Maher may be out to a 25-second lead right now. Maybe he maintains it for a while, but absolutely nothing is guaranteed. So it is pure carnage in every sense of the word, and you just have to really play it safe. I think if you're Maher, you need to be watching that intersection as you come up on it and try to time it as well as you can, and that was close, but, timed it good enough to get through. But the thing is, as long as there's this many trucks still on the track, you're not always going to be able to time it.
Yeah, you're going to do your best, but you might have to use the brakes to not run into another car as we get some good looks here. Here's the number 4 machine of Vincent Valvano almost clobbering, I think, the number 8 machine of Scott Crump. So Valvano's cycling around. You just kind of see it. You see it cycle, Andre. You kind of see it. A couple of trucks get close, and then on one end. That's one of the nice things about this being not a perfect figure 8. One side's a little bit faster than the other, so you might think, oh, they're not going to hit. And
oh my goodness.
Threading the needle there is the number 8 of Valvano. He needs to pick up some time on the leaders, currently sitting 6 laps down. But let's see if we get anything action here. Woo-hoo! I'll tell you what there, I think the number 4 slowed down. That was a good job by Vincent Valvano, but he needs to go in the offensive. He needs to start clobbering some of these guys. He needs to pick up some time.
Yeah, but the thing is, you got to be careful with the clobbering. You don't want to destroy your own truck, too. You got to make sure that, you kind of stay upright and that your car is at least drivable if you're going to force these drivers into a tow. I think getting them into one of the braking zones would be preferable to getting them in the intersection, because any hit in the intersection is going to be so fast that you don't know who's walking away from that one. But if you can just get up behind them or let them get near you in the braking zone and then, take some revenge, that's the way to do it. Normally, here on 3-Wide TV, we wouldn't exactly give advice on how to wreck people, but it's kind of what this race is.
Yeah, and of course we're doing it for charity here tonight. 4 Weighted Angels, link in the description if you're just now joining us. It's a lot of fun to do this for charity and to get out here, do something a little bit different, as we're looking at our race leader, the number 2 machine, currently running right behind second place, trying to put him 1 lap down. Not sure what really caused that Scott Crump penalty, but it cost him quite a bit, almost a full lap, as it surely does look like the number 2 machine of Maher has something figured out here, as he's kind of close back in, giving a little love tap.
Hold on. Did you see that, Peter? This number 2, he just double apex that corner. This man's out here taking the Formula 1 lines in a figure 8 trophy truck race.
Oh, not that time, though, as Scott Crump runs way wide. Coming to the start-finish line there. Now, I can say that is the start-finish line. You briefly got a look of the stripe right there. At least I believe that's the start-finish line. He's getting pounded. Oh! That was getting close. Getting real close. You know what? Maybe Scott Crump said, you know what? That was a little bit too close for me. There you go, Tristan. Go right ahead there, buddy. You take the brunt of the figure 8 cross right there. Now he's going to come back at it. These two really battling with one another, trading spots back and forth, and missing another car in the center of the track. They'll be happy that happened. But here comes Vincent Valvano.
Oh, man.
having a little bit fun. Oh, our
no!
race leader, Tristan Maher, upside down. And just like that, it changes everything.
That's going to put Crump in the lead. That pit is going to take more than 24 seconds. So that number 8, he's still yet to take the lead, but let's take a look at the 3-wide TV replay, see exactly what changed the picture of this race here at the intersection of the figure 8. So both the TNR drivers were together, but out of nowhere for the NSRA, here comes the 99 of Lashinsky all the way downtown. That was a Randy Orton move.
Yeah, and that was, I don't even think he really saw him. Here we go, back on the 3-wide TV replay, and just bam, and it was such a lazy roll to put him on his lid to turtle him upside down, and he'll get back out into the mix as soon as he can. He's still sitting right there in his pit box, so gonna have to take a long tow, and just like that has put Scott Crump up into the race lead now, about 20 seconds up the road from the number 6 machine. So how quickly things change. We're now about 1/3 into the distance as the number 4 Vincent Valvano's trying to knock on the back bumper. He's giving a huge nudge, and they're all going up towards the wall.
Right now, the lone TNR representative, Valvano, he's in the middle of a NSRA sandwich, and I don't think he's liking it. He's getting squeezed into some pretty uncomfortable situations, but the number 2 back on track now. So the reinforcements have arrived for Valvano, and that's going to put Maher 1 lap down in 3rd. So not too bad if something happens to our leaders, and he's going to spin him to the right quarter panel, and he is not playing nice to the wall. Crump goes, and that's our leader. The TNR boys taking it back by force, pushing him out the track, damaging that truck, and that's going to let Ratcliffe close in quite a bit, but it wasn't quite enough because Crump is still driving. He's still got a 20-second lead. If they're going to get that back, those TNR boys need to hit a little bit harder.
I'll tell you what, I think the fun and games has kind of gone out the window. These drivers starting to get mighty competitive out there. We expected that to happen at some point here tonight. In the chat, are you guys enjoying this one? We got Will Ratcliffe, Bob Giaquinto, Michael Valvano, and Tristan Maher said hi before the drop of the green flag. You guys enjoying this? I know I am, as Tristan Maher sitting in 3rd, working his way through. Just keeping an eye on that lower right-hand graphic, folks. That's when you're going to see things happen, at least as we try and keep our eyes on whether there might be carnage in the intersection. At least for right now, everyone's kind of split apart. Jimbo Casterline was a little bit off the pace there. We'll see if he's able to get things back going. There's the TNR drivers making their way through. And Andre, this is just fun. We got 28, just under 29 minutes to go, rather. And these drivers still laying it all out there. As, ouch!
Oh, there it is!
Right into the number 2 of Maher. And the 18 of Jimbo goes upside down. Maher gets back underway. Jimbo on his side.
So Jimbo once again having to take a tow. It has not been his night. Let's take a look at the 3-wide TV replay and see what has caused flip number 2 for Uncle Jimbo. I believe that all started at the intersection, but it went clear down to the corner, and that was just a clean hit right to the door. And then they come back together. That's going to cost Maher, who was just barely on the lead lap. He may have gone a lap down from that. As we go back to live, we'll take a look at the timing and scoring and see if he did indeed lose a lap from that. But again, it doesn't really matter if he's 20 seconds down or if he's a lap down. The goal here is going to be to try to hit that 8 truck at all costs. We do have another replay. The number 4 of Valvano, he's going into the corner. This is our leader, Scott Crump, right behind him. Now, obviously, Crump's got a target on his back, and he's got a TNR truck behind him. I think there's only one way that this ends. And the 4 is trying. He's bobbing, he's weaving, he sends it into the corner. But some evasive maneuvers from Crump's going to keep him alive for now. But this battle's not over because now we're back to live. This is what's happening currently. And the 8, I think, is a little bit scared to try to pass that 4, I think, Peter.
Well, the number 8 right now has a 20-second lead and slam bam into the back of that truck. Valvano's not making this easy on Scott Crump. And, of course, Scott probably has slightly older tires at this point as Jimbo Casterline heading back on to pit road. Now that Crump's tires are probably aging a little bit. He probably doesn't have the same level of grip as some of these other trucks that might have just come off pit road with a fast repair and might have got fresh tires like this driver right here, Tristan Thuggy Maher, who, if you're looking right now, he's 1 lap down. However, it's almost more than 1 lap down there as he almost had contact with I believe the number 99 machine of Steven Lashinsky. Let's see if he's able to make it through this time. A-OK does indeed. But Andre, the number 2, is trying to get himself back on the lead lap because right in front of him is our race leader, who's really being held up right now by Bob Giaquinto, rather, Vincent Valvano. Oh, the number 2, Tristan Mars. We got double flips here and still barrel rolling as Maher finally gets underway. But that's the most painful one of the night so far.
I think these two leagues came together and they just thought, what kind of race could we put on that would make the booth just produce the most incomprehensible noises of excitement? It is right there, just a double whammy. The hitter and the hitee going end over end. The number 2 of Maher, he has just been involved in incident after incident. After losing the lead, he's trying desperately to make something happen. But this is the best part here. We're back to live. That man was end over end. He's just going to keep on going. He's going to keep on trucking. So that number 8, that is our leader with a target on his back. I don't think that 4 of Valvano is going to let him go. This is a story that's been going on for quite a few laps now. The 8 is, I think the only way that 8's going to pass him is if he just rams him out of the way and he knows he can get far enough ahead that Valvano can't retaliate. But at the moment, he's pounding on that truck. He's hitting him every braking zone. But it ain't enough. And now he is going to go by. Here comes Valvano striking back. It's the crossover move. The 8 wisely letting him have it back. And oh my goodness, a near miss for a race leader. That couldn't have been any closer. As the 18 and the 2 were just working their way through. Oh no, Jimbo. Keep it on the track there. As the 18 and the 2 were working their way through the intersection. And there it is. The 99 with a big hit. And
is he going to roll back on his wheels?
No.
Oh, he's stuck. And that is Tristan Maher. Oh, now he's breakdancing. He's breakdancing, everyone.
Valvano tried to flip him back over.
Oh, there he goes.
There it is.
He did it. Good job there, Tristan. Keeps going. That's faster than a tow any day of the week. Might have lost some time, but oh, wow.
Man, I can't believe we only got 6 trucks for this. This is the best race I've commentated all year.
Got the number 8 right here, Scott Crump. I thought it was Scott Crump that pulverized the number 2 machine, but I think Crump actually kind of laid back, saw it coming, and now he's up to about a 30-second lead. It shows a full lap there on the left-hand side of your screen. I can actually kind of see it. Whoa! That one was close there. Now you have to think Scott Crump's going to have the target on his back because he's out there by a lap. Everyone can see that, and everyone, whether you're NSRA or TNR, you go, this guy's got a lap lead. That's not cool. I'm going to try and take that away.
Yeah, you're definitely thinking about how you can maybe humble him a little bit at this point with his 1 lap lead, regardless of which team you're on here. And I think Crump knows that. He's been playing it super defensively. Like right there, you saw him get on the brakes hard to make sure that truck wasn't coming back up in front of him. And that's the thing. You've got to play it defensive, but man, oh man, it's just a waiting game. I think no matter how defensive you are and how good you are, at a race like this, eventually something's going to happen as the 99 nearly avoids another catastrophe, sliding her through the corner. Heading into one of the faster sections of the track. And now to the intersection. This is going to be close. Look at that mini-map. Oh, it wasn't just close. That was a hit. Who did he get?
Yeah, that was our race leader, Scott Crump, that just got hit for the first time. Luckily for Scott, though, kind of bounced off like a bouncy ball and got back going pretty quickly.
Yeah, he was able to kind of rotate around, wind up on his wheels. Take a look at the 3-wide TV replay. So this is our race leader currently by about a lap. Gets into the braking zone a little bit late, and then I saw this happening on the mini-map. I was like, oh no. But he actually, I think he tried to avoid that. Whereas if he had just stayed on the throttle, he might have been able to get through there. But he saw that car, he panicked, got on the brakes, and just a head-on collision. Ratcliffe now back on the lead lap as a result, but Maher 2 laps down after his last Beyblade event. And now just trying to figure out who is going to dethrone Crump, who's going to be the one to give him a hit. Valvano was 7 laps down at one point. He is now only 4 laps down, as our leaders have continued to have a myriad of issues. So, 21 minutes left. I'd say 5 laps is quite a gap to overcome, but yeah, you can't count it out of a race like this. Valvano just trying his best to hug that apex, avoid any catastrophe at the intersection, as is, I think, most everybody, but especially if you're laps down, you can't afford to make too many more mistakes at this point. Can't afford to get walloped too many more times, and especially when you're the TNR guys. A lot of the NSRA guys, they're in the same Discord. They might be able to communicate and say, hey, I'm about to come through the intersection, maybe coordinate something. TNR guys, there's only 2 of them. There's not a whole lot of communication to be had, so bit of a disadvantage there as well. But Valvano just working their way through the ever-present smoke, Peter. That's the thing. When they're sliding around this track 24/7, that smoke never clears.
No, the smoke does not clear. We're hearing something's happened to William Ratcliffe, the number 6 machine. Is that backwards on pit road? I think he's backwards on pit road. I don't. I mean, I thought that would be a disqualification. Maybe not. I mean, maybe they can get it cleared. It is a hosted race, and let's see what happened here. Was just kind of running along, and then just kind of said, "Oh, I'm gonna go on pit road backwards." I can't say I've seen that in a league race ever before, as he's actually getting tires on the number 6 machine. Scott Crump is in as well, our race leader. So maybe these drivers coming down to take on fuel kind of at the halfway mark or so, as we still have 24 minutes left. Jimbo Casterline in the number 18 just had a little bit of an episode from the sounds of things. Now Vincent Valvano having a little bit of an episode in the number 4. Is he potentially out of fuel, or maybe just kind of letting things pan out here? This is the number 2 of Maher giving a love tap to the back of the number 8 machine. How about that? Scott Crump and getting a little bit close. Maybe going to trade some red and rainbow paint back and forth with one another. As now the 4 Valvano wants to play. Scott Crump's kind of double teamed here.
Yeah, he's in the middle of a TNR sandwich. This only ends one way for him, I think, unless he is either very lucky or very talented. I can't imagine too many ways he gets out of this unscathed. Race leader, target on his back, the 2 TNR boys right there. Now, he is on the bottom, but here's the problem. As he goes through the intersection, gets into this next braking zone, he's got that 2 behind him, and he sends it deep to the rear bumper. Not once, not twice, but, is he going to make it 3 at the end of the corner? Yes, it is 3 hits through the corner, and a penalty, perhaps, for our race leader. He's going to slow down quite a bit, working his way through the turn. I don't know if that was a penalty or just trying to avoid catastrophe. The number 4 now coming down pit road for some fuel. And to the viewers, I do want to point out, if you haven't caught on, I'm pretty sure damage is turned off. We've seen some trucks take some pretty big hits and keep on rolling, as well as body panels reappear, which from the broadcast perspective, sometimes iRacing does show body panels disappearing and reappearing, even when damage is enabled. But just from what I've seen, I would have to say damage is off, so they're not pitting for damage, just tires and fuel.
Yeah, these trucks, they can take a beating, but I think they're taking a little bit more of a beating than they should here tonight.
I would say so.
As more paint is traded between the number 2 of Maher, probably not making all too many friends out there, but in the name of charity, it isn't that bad if you're doing, I guess, questionable. The TNR drivers got together. Valvano able to keep on going. How did they keep on going there?
I have no clue. I thought Valvano was upside down for sure. He might have been upside down and then came back down to his wheels. Let's take a look. He tried to avoid it. He did his best, and he turned into it. He steered into the flip, and it pulled him out. It's like when you start to roll over a semi on the freeway, you just steer into it, and it saved him. So what a piece of driving there by Valvano.
Yeah, Valvano going to be the next stunt driver, that's for sure, with those types of moves, as he's right out there on the racetrack. And, this graphic in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen is probably helping everyone at home just as much as it is me, so we can make sure we get as much action as possible here. It looks like the field mostly spread out, at least momentarily. Scott Crump still our race leader by 21 seconds over Tristan Thuggy Maher. So even after the pit stop, the number 8 machine continues to still plug away at the front of the field, but almost getting into Vincent Valvano there. Able to get through the figure 8 nice and cleanly. Let's see if it happens again this time.
Yeah, he's going to have to play it right here. He does avoid the number 4, and he's kind of lucky where he's spaced out on the track. Most everybody gets through the intersection before he gets there, because he's just coming out of that turn now. The 18 is through, the 4 is through, and he just doesn't have to really worry about it. There's 2 clusters of trucks behind him, and neither is really spaced properly to have to worry about. The number 2 is ahead of him on track, not in terms of timing and scoring, but on track, so he's going through the intersection way before. The 18, Jimbo Casterline, he's stopped in the corner. I'm not sure if that was just a simple spin, but he's going to try to get that turned around. We'll figure out exactly what happened here on the 3-wide TV replay. Again, another incident involving Uncle Jimbo. Was it the 4? Did he get some help? Oh, he had some help, all right. Just lifted that left front up off the ground and got him flipped over, but luckily back on the wheel, so able to turn that wheel hard right, get back on the track. No harm, no foul.
Yeah, no harm, no foul. Able to keep things going. Jimbo currently sitting 12 laps down. Really needs to go on the offensive. Maybe that's what he was doing there, rubbing some fenders with Vinny in the number 4 machine. And unfortunately, he ended up getting the bad piece of that one. As right now, seems like everyone kind of calming down momentarily. Here's Scott Crump, the number 8 machine, our race leader, working his way through the center of the track. And looks like Tristan Myers coming down pit road here. Just 15 minutes to go. Probably going to come down, get on some fuel, and that should see him out all the way to the checkered flag. So that's the good news for him. Here's Will Ratcliffe side by side with Jimbo Casterline, the number 18 machine. Jimbo hugging the inside, Ratcliffe pounding the outside wall, and then diamonding down right into the number 18 machine as we got 4 trucks. We're 3 wide momentarily, and they're still beating and banging. And it ain't over. They might be sharing some paint between one another. That's Lashinsky and Jimbo. Hopefully neither one of those drivers got some type of a penalty. We will wait and see. Looks like Lashinsky is a little bit slow, but looks like he's back up to race speed. Let's jump up to Vincent Valvano, who's trying to tag the back of the number 6 right here. Ratcliffe, he got him! He got him! Sends him around, and the number 6 able to get away, but Valvano's not making any friends out there. Those TNR drivers, they're roughing it up with these NSRA boys.
That's what you got to do, man. You're backed into a corner. You only got one other teammate if you're either one of these TNR boys, and it's 2v4. So you got to play a little rough. I like it.
Yeah, I think we need the figure 8 series here on 3-wide TV. Let's do this every week. I think that could be fun. As it looks like Scott Crump here still trying to play it safe, but whoa, that was close. That was the number 4 Vincent Valvano disappearing at the top of the screen. We know Vinny's not afraid of playing a little bit rough. What about Tristan Maher? Is he going to play a little bit rough here? So far, no harm, no foul. As the number 8 had to check up a little bit. That gets the number 2 to his rear tailgate. They're still bumping and banging through this kind of last corner of the racetrack. Now, all eyes on the center cross. Looks like everyone okay, at least for now, Andre.
I tell you what, I can't believe Maher is playing so nice with Crump. If I'm in that number 2, if I'm Tristan Maher, my only thought is, how do I send Crump outside of the track boundary? How do I send this man to the grandstands and do something about this 2-lap lead that he's got? But for some reason, the number 2 is playing nice, even though the 8 is not. He has given him the door check of the century right there. Let's see, does the 2 retaliate? Is that enough? Does it boil over? Apparently not. Maher is going to play it nice again, staying down low. Maybe a little bit of a, running him wide there, but still, that's a lot nicer than I would be if I'm facing a guy with a 2-lap lead.
Yeah, a 2-lap lead for Scott Crump. Something big's going to happen, I think, here as the lap count, or timer, lap count. I guess they're one and the same thing almost. winds down as the two sends
There
him
it
up
is.
into the wall. Crump just kind of glances off of it. That's you're not going to see that every day. As
I tell you what, I like that he tried to push him on pit road. He wanted to give him a speeding penalty. That's what that was.
You know, that's one way to do it. I can't say I've ever seen that been done before, but I know Maher's a feisty one. They call him Thuggy for a reason. He's trying to live up to that name, trying to get a speeding penalty for Crump.
Oh man, and if that had worked, that would have been the play of the century, but he just missed it. That eight truck was able to crank that wheel to the left and miss them sand barrels by a hair, but it ain't over. 11 minutes left, and boy, oh boy, who is it that he's closing back in on but the number 2? And I'll tell you another thing as well. If this 8 truck ever gets close on track to the number 4 of Alvano, that's when he might want to start praying to whatever deity he so chooses, because Valvano, he's not afraid to use that truck as a weapon.
Yeah, Valvano, he's been, playing not so nice as... Oh, the number 2. What happened here? Maher...
Here we go. He let him back in front, I think.
He's come to a complete stop. He must have had some type of a penalty there, Andre. He's back underway, had to come to a complete halt. Not sure if I wasn't, paying attention, but maybe hit too many cones or something like that. But he's back out there in the mix as, someone's flipping. Someone's upside down. Valvano has, I think, just overturned Ratcliffe. Let's see if we can get this one on replay.
Man, oh man, let's take a look and see. So he's coming through the corner. And just a bit of a tap to the quarter panel from I say a tap. About a Mach 1 hit to the quarter panel from Valvano gets him sent off the track, and Valvano's able to get back on his wheels and keep going again, but I cannot believe nobody's done anything about this 2-lap lead. You'd think he'd have the biggest target on his back, but Crump still leading the way. Ratcliffe 4 laps down, still trucking after that incident. No big deal there. Again, damage is off, so as long as you land on your tires, you're pretty much set to go. And every time I see that tire smoke in the corner and I see that yellow arrow, I'm thinking caution's out, and then I realize no, there is no cautions. It would be a long night if there were.
I have to say the same thing. I've thought that quite a few times myself. I just see something yellow flashing on the screen and I go, yep, that's the old yellow flag, but no yellow flag. Lashinsky just launched someone. Let's see who Lashinsky got. I'm hearing it might have been maybe a little bit of payback here on the number 4 machine of Valvano. Let's see if we can see Valvano here coming through. Boom!
Oh! Now, did Vinny land on his wheels? That's the big thing. He's tumbling, he's falling, and stuck the landing right back out on the track.
Honestly, I don't think he lost much time in all of that. I mean,
No.
He just kind of got launched to space, almost launching someone else to space, but the number 4 continues to click away. Valvano probably gets a 10 out of 10 for escapades here in this one.
I'm definitely a Valvano fan tonight. I love the way he's driving this thing. It's a figure 8 race. You got to have some fun. You got to be a little crazy, and he's racing this the way I'd be racing it. He's just out here for blood, man.
Yeah, definitely out here for blood. Here's the number 8 machine. Crump is... someone's up on their side. Is that Valvano again? It's Valvano again. And the number 4, he's going to try and do the breakdance moves and not able to pull him off. We saw Maher do that a little while ago. Let's see what happened to Vincent Valvano in the number 4 machine also.
Man.
Oh, yikes. Pounding the number 9 machine. That number 6, rather, driven by Will Ratcliffe. And those two have had their fair share. And let's see if we can figure out, did something happen here to Maher as well? Or maybe he just kind of came to a slow... I think he just slowed down so much. Well. Yeah, I think right there it counted as him being involved in an accident on my end. But something happened. What has happened? I missed something.
What on earth? Our race leader on pit road.
A race leader and second place on pit road. The number 8 machine. Oh!
He turned right into him.
Target locked.
He turned that truck into a homing missile. I said Maher was playing too nice, and well, maybe he's listening to the broadcast, and he turned up that aggression, man.
Let's see. Let's watch this one more time. Coming into the crosshairs right here. He just boom.
He turned right so hard. How do you time that? That is impressive, Peter. The fact that he actually turned dead right, cut the track, and still hit him dead on.
What I think's crazy is Maher's out there on the racetrack with 6 minutes to go, and we know that Crump is going to now have a big target on the number 2 machine. He's going to be coming for him, and he comes out right in front of him. Look at this.
And this is for position, Peter. Look at the timing. That's for position.
6 minutes to go, and Maher somehow takes the lead, and these two are going to have something to say between each other here, I think, in the final 6 minutes.
Oh, you couldn't script this, man. The two drivers who have just been at each other's throats all night long, coming down to the wire, and it times out just perfectly. The 8 slides out in front of him with some help from the 18. He's trying to slow that 2 down, but it's not going to work. He's still there.
Battle for the race lead, a little bit of bumper-to-bumper action here as they go through the intersection one more time. No one in danger of hitting either one of these. 5 minutes, 30 seconds left to go here in the charity figure 8 race for Weighted Angels. Make sure you check out their link. There's an About Us link here in the chat. We really appreciate that, and any donations that go their way. Make sure you let us know if you gave a little bit of a donation to them. We'll give you a shout out in the chat here. Alicia Casterline, Michael Valvano, Adam Dama saying he wishes he could be there. It's a wild one as they get all junked up there coming out of the final corner, and that's going to kind of break these two up a little bit. Maher able to get a little bit of an advantage now on Scott Crump.
A sizable advantage is the 6 is actually going to sneak underneath the number 8. Now, that's not for position, but it is going to force Crump wide and give the number 2 a bit of a break.
But Ratcliffe's going to run the 2 up the wall. They bump into each other, and is Maher, can he break dance his way onto his wheels again?
He's got to wiggle them front tires, man. Try to get them sidewalls to grip. Here comes another truck. Is he going to get hit back on his tires? Yes, he does.
Jimbo gets him back on his wheels, but that's allowed Crump to get 12 seconds up the road. That's about half a lap. And Andre, you know what half of a lap means here at this racetrack? It means
this ain't over.
It means this ain't over, because right here, the figure 8 here we go.
There it is.
Half a lap means you're right in the danger zone. Is Scott Crump able to do a 360 and get back going? My, oh my, 4 minutes left to go here at Irwindale.
Now, I got to look at where this falls out. So I'm now about a straightaway between Crump and Maher. 7 seconds and more carnage behind. That is Valvano just going to teeter back onto his wheels. I'm not even sure who he got into. That might have been the 18 of Jimbo. Man. I
don't even think that the 4 there of Valvano got back on track in the right spot as he goes around again. More trucks bumping and banging. Where's our race leader? So there's our race leader right there. Scott Crump, the number 4. Oh no, he's got Vinny Valvano right behind him. Mr. Terrorizer himself, as Valvano gets a little bit of bumping and bang. Oh, he gets into his teammate there, the number 2 of Maher. Holy smokes, we got 3 minutes to go.
3 minutes to go and a 3-second lead. Peter, you don't often see the gap from the leader go from mere seconds up to several laps back down to mere seconds, but it is coming down to the wire. The number 8 trying everything he can to keep that car safe. He knows he's got a target on his back. He's got to play it well.
He's got to play it well, coming to the intersection one more time. He's actually got a good amount of clean racetrack in front of him. That's good news if you're a Scott Crump fan, as the lap count continues to click away. About 5 or 6 laps left in this one. But for right now, Crump is holding on to about a 3-second gap. Anything going wrong here is not good if you're Scott Crump. Maher still just doing everything he can to run him down. Does have, I think that's the number 6, Will Ratcliffe, kind of in between himself as Crump has to grind to a halt here.
Oh, that closed it up. 2.5 seconds now, maybe less.
Yep, 2.5 seconds and just under 2 minutes to go. Crump, what's he going to do here as he goes into the intersection? He's able to scoot on through. Maher able to scoot on through as well. Ratcliffe, though, just got into it with one other driver. Let's see if we can see if that was Jimbo or the number 99 here in the intersection. Oh, geez. Honestly, looks like Maher packed him into that.
He just made that 2,000-pound truck look like a matchbox car, man. That thing got launched.
Crump up front. 3 seconds, 2.8 to be exact. Just over 1 minute left to go. Puts the power down here through the figure 8. Nice and clean through the figure 8. That's good news for the number 8 machine. Maher right back behind him, also able to navigate through. Maher in a little bit more danger here, as I say that, the number 8 has to have a little bit of a checkup there to avoid collision with one of the cars, and that brings it down to under 2 seconds with 44 seconds to go. I think, Andre, 2 laps left in this one, as a couple of the NSRA trucks having to dodge and weave their way through the intersection.
Maher's faster. He's way faster. He's closed in 4/10 in the last lap. If he can just get within striking distance to make a big old send into this braking zone before the clock runs out, he's got a shot.
This could be the white flag right here. One driver has a penalty. It looks like they're going to take a tow back to pit road. White flag is in the air. We're in the final lap. I saw the flagman frantically waving the white flag. Maher is going to have a big sin. Just looking at the intersection, it's going to be all clear here for both of our leaders. They're through, and I don't think they're going to have any problems making it through this final time, as it looks like Scott Crump is going to hold on. No, that's the checkered flag. Checkered flag is out.
Wow, man, oh man.
Checkered.
0.8 of a second.
45 minutes at this racetrack. I mean, you see the flagman down here waving the checkered flag. Maybe it's not over. I mean, I see the flagman waving the checkered like it's over, but looks like Maher going to have a bump. There's going to be another bump, and he goes around. Is it over? Is it not over? I think it's over. I think it's over. I think
it's been over. I think they're just having fun.
I think that answered the question. I just see carnage, and that gives me the indicator that it's all over. I got excited there for a second that maybe it wasn't over, and the flagman didn't know what he was talking about. But for Scott Crump, that was a wild race, upside down. Got to give it to Maher for that huge send. Is boom, tough acting to Nacton right there for these drivers. Holy smokes, that was a fun race. 6 trucks, but the entertainment level through the roof.
I want to do this every week. That was great. I just can't believe, like you said, Peter, 45 minutes around this track, wreck after wreck. At one point, the gap was up to 2 whole laps, and it just comes down to less than a second. You can't script that, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I have to say that was one of the most fun races to broadcast I've had. I've only, I think, broadcasted one of these before, and I loved it. I loved every single moment of it. But here tonight, I think with these trucks, I think last time I broadcasted it, I don't think it was with the trucks. I think it was with maybe Legends or maybe Street Stocks or something like that. I can't remember. But with these trucks, it was an absolute blast.
Absolutely, and having damage turned off and making the deciding factor be whether or not you landed on your tires, that just made it so much more chaotic. And 6 trucks is all you really need, although I am wildly curious what this would have been like had we gotten a more filled out field. It would have been, I think, almost impossible, Peter. I mean, they were struggling to get through that intersection with 6 trucks. That seemed like about the maximum amount of trucks that you could reasonably really navigate with any amount of consistency. If we had any more, man, that would have been borderline impossible.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see it. I want to see it. We need to make it a points-paying event. Jimbo, I've seen your schedule there, buddy, for what you want to do on Thursday nights. Let's make this a points-paying race. I mean, I think that'd be why not? I mean, it's one race. Give everyone a drop race or something, if you want, and just throw it on the schedule. That was a blast. Let's get more people here to do this. Let's see if we can get some post-race interviews for all of you folks. Let's get some feedback from some of the drivers here, and of course, it is a charity race, so we do want to give a big shout out to Weighted Angels that we are supporting here tonight. Make sure you check out the link in the chat. There is a not only a link if you're watching this video on replay, there's a link in the description of the video as well to Weighted Angels. But let's get a quick word, Andre. Let's let you take it away here with Will Ratcliffe.
Mr. Ratcliffe, you got a copy?
Hello, I do.
Well, first off, congratulations on the podium. Man, I don't even know what to say about that race. That was so much fun to watch, and it looked like you guys were having a blast out there on the track. You got involved in a few scuffles yourself. I think everybody did at one point or another. Just tell me about it, man. What was it like out there?
Oh, it was awesome. This is amazing, and I don't know if I'm happy that this is my first podium. I don't know if it counts. Either way, it was still awesome. And some wrecks, slightly intentional, I'll be honest.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. But it was awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch, and we did see some drivers coming down pit road. So I guess I'll ask you: did you have to stop for fuel in that 45 minutes?
I did. I was telling Jimbo, I was like, I got 5 laps of fuel left. Should I have that warning? And he's like, yes, you're fine. And then I got down to like one more lap, and I said, you have 2 laps of fuel left. I'm like, I don't think it's fine. And I didn't know the pit entrance, so I just kind of went off track.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably be a little confused at the pit entrance too, because it's not very often you have to go out onto the track to pit. So, very unique situation. Peter and I, we're up in the booth. We're kind of shilling this race. We're trying to convince Jimbo to put this on the real schedule. What do you think about that?
Oh, I would love that. I would do it every time. It was so much fun.
We agree. Well, Mr. Ratcliffe, thank you for your time. Again, congratulations. Is there any shout-outs you'd like to make?
I think just to Mitchell Adams, for getting me onto here. You guys know Mitchell, and I was talking to him, and he just kind of was like, yeah, maybe you can do this. And I'm like, maybe I can do this. And it was worth it. So thanks to Mitchell.
Alrighty, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
It sounds like he had about as much fun as we did, Peter.
Yeah, that's I think another vote to get the race on the actual calendar for next season. Let's see if we can bring in Tristan Thuggy Maher, tonight's runner-up. But Thuggy, you kind of lived up to your name a little bit there towards the end of being Thuggy, but coming up just a little bit short. A great finish there with you and Scott Crump, kept keeping us on our toes again every week here on 3 Wide TV. Kind of talk us through it.
Oh, Peter, this was a great race. Definitely good to get out and do these races for fun every once in a while. I know a lot of people take iRacing very seriously, and it is a competitive environment 99% of the time. But, I figured tonight we'd have a little fun with it. I can say I don't think I've ever intentionally wrecked someone during a race, so that was a first for me. But he was 2 laps ahead and no one else was doing anything about it, so I had to do something. And
I just got to interject here. I got to say, that move, I don't know how you were that precise. I mean, you turned that wheel like 40 degrees to the right, full speed, somehow timed it just right where you hit him right in the door. It worked out beautifully. That was art. I mean, that was perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely was a good attack. It was a good torpedo there, and I was curious to know. And then, the 8 machine of Crump got back out there on the racetrack right in front of you and set up that great battle at the end. It really couldn't have been any better for both you and us up here in the booth. But I'm trying to get Jimbo to put this race on the calendar as like an actual points-paying event with the stock cars or whatnot next season. What are your thoughts about this actually being a points-paying event?
I mean, I think it would be fun. I definitely think that we'd have to have damage turn off like we did tonight. Maybe a little less intentional wrecking, but who knows? It would be a good time. It'd be a good curveball. Everyone would still have to deal with the old intersection. But yeah, it was fun. And just going back to the race real quick, I didn't have my mic button bound or something happened. So I just want to tell, Scott, it was all in good faith. And when I was doing all that intentional stuff, I was definitely pushing the boundaries a little bit, but I was just trying to get into this 2-lap gap, and then it worked out perfectly when he came out of the pits. If I came out way in front of him, I was gonna wait. I was gonna let him catch back up. I would just wanted to have the good battle at the end, But it was fun.
Definitely a great race and for a great cause, supporting Weighted Angels here tonight. Tristan, any final thoughts before we let you go?
Yeah. The league, Jimbo and Justin White, for putting on NSRA and all the races they do for the season. It's a great league. We need people. If anyone is interested in doing some actual, competitive racing, not that this wasn't competitive, but if anyone is actually interested in doing some oval racing in some trucks or Xfinity cars or whatever, look us up on Discord, National Sim Racing Association. And then obviously the charity Weighted Angels. I'll do charity races all the time. I think they're great. Gets their name out there. And then you guys up in the booth. And I actually do have to say, I'm a little disappointed in the rest of my TNR family. Vinny's my man, because he came out and stuck it out with me. We fought together. Okay. That's it. That's all I got.
Well, I gotta say, Vinny, I think, tried to help you out a couple times here tonight, just coming up a little bit short. But highest finisher for TNR here tonight, coming up runner-up. Tristan, we'll see you again soon.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
All right, well, that's going to do it for our runner-up, Tristan Thuggy Maher. Let's see if we can get Scott Crump down here into the 3-wide TV booth. And why don't you take it away there, Andre?
Mr. Crump, you got a copy?
Yeah, 10-4.
Well, Scott, you're walking away from that race the winner. I think just walking away from that race is probably a victory, but the fact that you were able to come out on top through all that carnage, all that chaos. You had a 2-lap lead at one point. Tristan had to do something about that. He made a pretty impressive dive through the out of bounds. And it timed out just right, where you came out of the pits right in front of him, and you had a great battle to the end. What do you think of this race, man?
Oh, it was chaotic, but a lot of fun. Seemed like everybody played nicely the first half, maybe 3/4 of the race, and then all of a sudden it was just like start aiming at their best driver at the moment or whatever. So I became a target there the last 20, 30 minutes or so. So it was pretty crazy. I think Tristan was just a little bit faster than I was. He was able to get around here pretty good. It's my first time with the truck and here and doing the figure 8. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun to watch, and I'm kind of surprised that it seemed like everybody was playing nice from in the truck for the first half, because up in the booth, man, that race was chaos through and through. But what did it take exactly to get used to this track? I was going to ask one of the other drivers, didn't get around to it, but this isn't a perfect figure 8. One half of the track, you got this really heavy braking zone, which opens it up to even more carnage than just having that intersection. What did you learn in practice that kind of helped you get this win?
I learned that getting to the tighter part of the corner right there before it gets to the straightaway, you pretty much had to lock up the brake a little bit to get it to slide around and then throttle. Keep staying in the throttle. That way, you just keep spinning the tires until you get it going straight. I don't know. It's pretty different than anything I've ever really driven. So, Tristan really had to figure it out. He was definitely a little bit faster.
Well, sometimes the faster car does not win the race. Sometimes it's just the guy who played it smart, and that's what you did all night. We were watching you, and some of the evasions you had, you were very aware of that intersection. We saw you slow down a few times and weave out of the way just right. You were definitely, I think, the most aware driver out there. So that's what it took. We were kind of talking, some of the other drivers, and Peter and I up in the booth, we were kind of talking, trying to convince Jimbo that maybe this needs to be a race on the actual schedule. What would you think of that?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if we do like a Pro 2 leg or something, that ought to be pretty fun. Have this on the schedule, along with the other fun courses that they have on this. You could really make it a fun league with the Pro 2s trucks. They're a blast to drive and really challenging. All in all, yeah. I think it'd be exciting in a league season race. And definitely throw a loop in it.
That it would. Well, all right. Congratulations on your win. Is there any shout outs you'd like to make?
Yeah, give a shout out to the charity we're doing this for, Weighted Angels. My wife is the one that runs it or whatever. So she started about 5-6 years ago. We had a stillbirth, and she put all of her heart and stuff into it when we lost our son. So yeah. So what they do is just they make weighted angels, which is like we have like 7 different animals that we stuff and weigh. So it's like be like 0 to a pound, pound to 2 pounds, and so forth. Each pound or whatever goes all the way up to like 10 pounds, I believe. And yeah, they stock the hospital, so if there's like a stillbirth or somebody loses a child or whatever, something for the mother to take home. I mean, you can't really replace the child itself, but it's something to hold on to and something to comfort a little bit. It's just real hard to go through. So we try to raise awareness and make those weighted angels for the women that have that loss.
Well, Scott, I'm really sorry to hear that you and your wife went through that. That is, I mean, I can't even imagine. And I want to obviously thank you on behalf of the league and for all the people affected by your charity work for doing what you guys do. I'm sure it means a lot, and it's a good thing. So congrats on the win there, Scott, and thanks for your time.
Thank you. And also a shout out to Jimbo for putting on the event. It was a blast. So, and get a shout out to y'all up in the booth for doing an excellent broadcast.
We appreciate it, Scott. We're going to let you go celebrate.
All right, thanks.
Scott Crump out of the booth with a race win, and Peter, that was a very fun event. I would definitely, even if it maybe necessarily wasn't a points event, maybe an all-star event, something like this again, I would definitely have a lot of fun broadcasting. But we do have the official final race result. Scott Crump with a win. Tristan Maher just 9/10 of a second after 45 minutes. William Ratcliffe is going to be on his, as he said, first podium. Stephen Lashinsky in 4th. Vinny Valvano, he tried so hard. He was the warrior of the race. He fought for his teammate, but ultimately winds up second to last. And Jimbo Casterline, he tried. 15 laps down.
Yeah, definitely a fun one, and I hope we get to do this again with more drivers out there, because it was an absolute blast and a great way to support Weighted Angels. And for everyone in the chat who checked out the website, we really do appreciate it. And of course, we hope to be back here on 3 Wide TV soon with both the NSRA and Total Nonstop Racing League. So hopefully you can catch your favorite flavor of the 2 leagues here in a few months, hopefully around August timeframe. Kind of get through the summer and everything that we have going on, and who knows, maybe someone will throw one of these up at some point during the summer, and we can kind of broadcast that one. But Andre, it's been a lot of fun. Hopefully we're back on here soon. Any final thoughts before we head out from Irwindale?
Well, not really. I think the race kind of spoke for itself. But again, I just want to shout out Scott Crump and his wife and all the charity work they do. And I know a couple people that have been through that, and it's one of those things. You don't ever really get over it. It's tough. It's really tough, and I can't imagine going through it. But the fact that they're trying to help people and kind of help them get through that tough time it's a really good thing. So shout out to him.
Absolutely. Well, folks, we're going to head on out. We'll see you again back here on the channel again soon. Make sure you check out our other weekly series that we have here on the channel. I know we broadcast on Thursday nights already with the OSCA, and I know Carlos Acosta bringing the 100% Cup series on Saturday nights. So while we're taking a little break for TNR and NSRA, go check them out as well. But for myself, Peter Short, Andre Graham Bush, and everyone else in the 3Y TV family, have a good night. We shall see ya.